Once I discovered Eros in college, I quit going to classes. I got kicked out in the second quarter.
Why?
Tony's roommate had a boyfriend in town who was a foreman at the Libby Owens Ford glass factory, and they made Chevy windshields in Manteca. So I got a job there, got a car right away, was hanging out with Tony all the time, an 18-year-old's dream. At the end of the summer, though, my dad called me up frantically, and he said that he was on the Yuba County grand jury, and one of the other people in the grand jury was the woman who ran the draft board. And she told him, your son is going to be drafted in 2 months into the Army and he'll probably be sent to Vietnam. So my dad called me, he says, I'm just taking a new church in Santa Rosa. Get over there, get to the JC, and see if you can get into classes right now. I didn't have to be told twice. Quit the job, went to Santa Rosa. I was 1 week late to register for that semester, but night school was still open. So I signed up for 12 units of night school and then took 18 the next semester because you had to have 30 units a year to get a college deferment. So you didn't get drafted. Now, Tony had just finished a year up in Oregon in Vista at the Domestic Peace Corps, and she moved to San Francisco. And I spent the weekends with her. 67, 68 were the most exciting times to be young in San Francisco. Oh my God. I'd already been to the Trips festivals at the Longshoremen's Hall. Every weekend we'd go to the Fillmore, the Avalon. There were concerts in the Panhandle and Golden Gate Park every weekend. Tony lived right off the Haight-Ashbury. There was just young people everywhere. Speed and heroin hadn't hit yet. It was just an amazingly innocent time. We went to the Human Being in '67. We went to the Monterey Pops Festival. We went to Altamont. And a couple years later, Dude Driscoll and I, by accident, ended up in Woodstock. So all of those iconic events, for some reason, I was there. And it was great. It was just so much fun to be young there. The other side of those years is difficult to describe. If you were a boy over 18, you had to be registered for the draft, and you had to be in school. Otherwise, you'd get sent to Vietnam. At one point, there were 1 million guys, 18 and 19 years old, in Vietnam for that war. And once we got educated, we found out we were not only fighting on the wrong side there, but there was no reason to be there. And the youth of America rebelled. There were riots on college campuses all over the United States. Big march on Washington, protests everywhere. It created this big divide between the generations. I just felt like my elders were trying to kill me, and I couldn't figure out why. It just sucked. You know, guys were coming back from Nam really fucked up, physically or mentally or both. It was a tragedy. And I had gotten my first guitar. So this is the first song I ever wrote. One chord. That's all I could manage. His hands come off at right angles to his wrist. His legs are bent, mangled. None of the chickens will go out with him. They put him on the shine. He got the Vietnam blues. He got the Vietnam blues. He got stuck in India. You got the Vietnam blues. Got the blues. Got those Vietnam blues. Got the blues. Got those Vietnam blues. He's 22. He got the Vietnam blues. Well, my baby brother, he's just 22. He got the Vietnam blues. He got the blues. Got those Vietnam blues. He got the blues. Got those Vietnam blues. Baby in her hand, she got the Vietnam blues. There's a woman with a burned up baby in her hand, she got the Vietnam blues. She got the blues. She got those Vietnam blues. She got the blues. Got those Vietnam blues. I don't know why human beings like to start wars. It's contrary to all logic. It's contrary to all reason. In the 10th grade history class, we were taught that every single great world empire had destroyed itself through overexpansion and foreign wars. Every single great world empire, and he listed them off going back to Genghis Khan, the Chinese, great dynasties, Romans, Portuguese, Spanish, British. They all destroyed themselves through overexpansion and foreign wars. Still happening today. Our last two presidents went to the distinguished and wonderful institutions of Harvard and Yale, yet it seems like nobody at those esteemed universities thought that this was an important fact to teach their students. Every single world empire destroyed itself through overexpansion and foreign wars. Well, eventually I did get drafted. I was inducted, got papers, and with the help of my buddy Captain Driscoll, who drove me down to Oakland Induction Center, I went one-on-one, did battle with the United States Army. It was a draw that day. So they sent me more papers and said, you have to come back. So Driscoll and I thought about it, and thank you, Lawrie. We walked into the Oakland Induction Center. Our hair was curled exactly the same. We had on matching blue turtleneck shirts, matching pants, and we were holding hands. And it was too much for the Army. I was rejected as unfit for military duty. But I have to say, Lawrie and I were really a cute couple together. We walked in and this sergeant behind the desk goes, man, I ain't touching them two with a 10-foot pole.